Two cars stopped in front of the mansion and the other 10 cars behind them. He glared at her before uttering, "We are here." Taehyung said before taking off his seatbelt and getting down off the car. She didn't say anything as just got down as well. On the other car, he glared at her from head to toe before saying in a sarcasm tone, "Get off unless you are planning to stay here forever." He got down showing no interest in hearing her reply while she just grinned her teeth getting off as well. Guards from the other cars got down and stood near the cars with their hands folded behind their backs. With a straight face, both Jungkook and Taehyung walked towards the mansion while taking off their glasses. They sprinkled looking at each other. "The drift was damn good," Jungkook said looking at Taehyung while his hands were inside his pocket. "I should appreciate the perfect shot as well," Taehyung uttered smirking while Jungkook left a chuckle. "I know I'm always cool," JK said. "I was kidding," Taehyung uttered, tilting his head while JK just shook his head in a sassy way, "'cause he knows Taehyung is just there to roast him." Both brothers were having their important conversation while walking inside with their hands inside their pocket. That's when Mr. Jeon was walking outside with 4 guards. His eyes were dark. He was looking serious and worried. Jungkook and Taehyung gave a light smile to him before standing in front of him. Mr. Jeon looked at them from head to toe before saying, "You both are okay?" he asked in a serious and worried tone. Jungkook and Taehyung glared at each other before looking back at Mr. Jeon. "Jungkook, we are fine. It's just those assholes tried to attack us from behind. They popped out of nowhere." Taehyung, "It's because they don't have the guts to fight like a man." "Mr. Jeon, what about the mess he wrote?" he asked Taehyung and Jungkook. Before they say something, Michael walked to them. "Michael, don't worry boss, we have cleared everything. It doesn't even look like something happened there." "Mr. Jeon, good job." He gave a light nod to Michael before looking at Yn and Yun. "Mr. Jeon, you both are okay? Hurt anywhere?" he asked in a worried tone, but Taehyung and Jungkook cut him off. "Taehyung, they were with us, Dad," he said and glared at Yn, while she just looked at him without saying anything. Jungkook, "They don't have a single wood," his hand resting inside his pocket. Mr. Jeon nodded and then looked back at Taehyung. "Mr. Jeon, I'm leaving for some work with Mr. Choi. You all must be tired with the wedding event and 3 hours exhausted journey. So rest well." Taehyung and Jungkook nodded. Mr. Jeon walked front and patted Yn and Yun's shoulder with his hand before mumbling, "Take care." Taehyung turned to Michael while Michael looked at him with a straight face, hand folded behind his back, ready to take his orders. "Taehyung, I want all of their information. I want to know by whom these busters are sent to attack us. And this is the only way we have to find those cowards. So pull out the information and work properly. Jungkook, don't let any of them escape. I don't want any new dramas of yours." Jungkook said, darkening his eyes in a treating tone while Michael just bowed to him. "Taehyung, let him do this work, Jungkook," he said looking at JK. He scoffed and walked inside while Taehyung signaled Michael and other guards to leave for their work. The guards left to do their job. Taehyung one last time glared back at Yn and Yun before leaving. "Yun, do you understand what the hell is happening here?" Yun said, getting frustrated by all this new stuff. Yn just stared at Taehyung, disappearing back. "Yn, I'm asking you," she said, but before Yn said something, their 5 friends walked to them looking all worried. "Imma, you guys are okay?" she said, giving a light hug to Yn. "Yn, you all know what happened on the way?" Imma nodded. "Sophie, the guys told us, but don't worry, as long as the members are together, nothing will happen to us." The other girls nodded in agreement. "Yun, wait a damn minute, can you explain me what happening?" "Gianni, we will talk about it later. Let's go inside, you must be tired." "Fine, let us know what's going on." "Mia, we will explain everything, but before that, let's go inside. You both take a warm shower. You must be exhausted from the wedding event, and now this all." "Yun, but..." Before she says something, 2 guards walked to them. "God, Please go inside, ma'am. It's not safe outside. Ryan and Yun looked at the guard before looking at their friends. Leah, let's go, she said, and all of them went inside. Two maids walked to Ryan and Yun, saying, Maid, Mrs. Kim, Mrs. Jeon, please follow us. We'll show you room. We have prepared a warm shower for you too, they said after bowing. All of them walked inside following the maids, but Ryan twitched her eyebrows, feeling something odd. Ryan Pov, Mrs. Kim. The maid pointed at the rooms. Ma'am, this is your room, and this is your room, Mrs. Yun. The maid smiled. Yun, thank you, but please feel comfortable to call us with names. Ryan, yes, that would be fine. The maid gave them a smile before saying, Sorry, ma'am, but we are not allowed. Please call me if you need something. The maid left. Yun, are we really married now? I have to sleep in another room? Ryan, probably yes. Take rest and don't think about the previous incident. After dinner, just sleep peacefully, okay? Yun, you too. She nodded before entering into her room. Yun entered the room while Ryan turned facing the door. She looked at the door and grabbed the doorknob. She was hesitant. She didn't open the door, but just kept staring at the doorknob, thinking whether to open it or not. But that's when the door opened from the other side, and it was Taehyung. He looked at her, raising his one eyebrow, while she just blinked her eyes. What are you doing here? Taeyong raised his eyebrows, keeping his hands inside his pocket, looking at her from head to toe. She was still in her wedding frock. Why are you inside my room? She questioned, in which he replied with raising his eyebrows. Your room? Since when? He said after leaving a mocking chuckle. The maid showed me this room, she said, pointing in the direction the maid left. The maid was probably hired by Dad, I guess. He stepped back. Do not touch my stuff, clothes, laptop, nothing. Can't make the room dirty. You can sit in the bed only if you have taken a shower. And he got cut off. At least we can breathe, right? She asked in a sarcasm tone. He looked at her, folding his arms to his chest. Was that supposed to be a joke? Does it sound like? She asked, crossing her arms as well. It absolutely doesn't, he replied. Then it's not, she said, and entered the room while he just grinned his teeth looking away. He turned his whole body facing her when she entered the room and looked around. She looked around the room. He looked at her and said while pointing the nightstand, Taehyung, you can't open the nightstand. You can't stand on the balcony at night time. You won't read any files if they are placed in the room. And you won't dare to get involved in my personal stuff. I'm not interested either. She mumbled to herself, but he kept ignoring her, talking about his rules. And last but not least, you are sleeping on the couch. Ryan, this huge king size bed is for? She asked, crossing her arms, pointing at the bed. Obviously, it's for me, he replied. Why don't you sleep on the couch? She said in a cold tone, in which he replied, This is my room, he said, pointing down at the floor with a cold face. Uncle John plans or something else, she uttered. He looked away, poking his tongue, as he realized it's his dad who wants them to stay in the same room. Taehyung, fine, you're sleeping on that side, and don't you dare to roll over here, he said, pointing at the other side of the bed. Ryan, do you think I'm thoughts clingy girl in the university? She said, standing there still crossing her arms. Taehyung, oh, so you're bringing university stuff now? He asked her, getting slightly annoyed by her. Ryan, how can I forget? Especially the day when I poured the coffee on you. Taehyung, oh yeah, for throwing that stupid girl gift? Ryan, she was really stupid for gifting a person like you, she said, but he added. Taehyung, she throws someone gifts in the same way. He said. She raises her eyebrows and questioned. Taehyung, treating her the same way is not fair. She twitched her eyebrows, still looking at him with a processing face. Taehyung, you know what? I hate you in the most. You judge someone before knowing them well, and unless that, I hate you whole, he said in a low, barely audible voice before leaving the room. Why? She treated someone the same? She questioned herself. She was struggling to pull down the zip of her long frock, while in the process her wrist bracelet stuck in her head. Damn it, she cursed under her breath, trying to remove the bracelet from her hair. That's when the bathroom door burst open, revealing Jungkook means her dear enemy husband, who was in his pants and shirtless. He didn't see her as he was drying his wet hair with a towel. Her eyes fell on his figure while struggling to remove her wrist bracelet from her hair. He finally lifted his head but twitched his eyebrows when he saw her standing in front of him on the other side of bed, while with winding eyes. But then he raised his eyebrow when he noticed the direction her eyes were pointing. He followed her gaze and realized she was actually staring at his shirtless body. Her eyes were fixed on his perfect bull muscular body and abs. A spring plastered on his face as he realized. Done checking me out? As he said in his low voice with his husky tone, she snapped out of her thoughts and fake coughs, looking away. I was just. She hesitated, still looking away, but her eyebrows twitched when she realized. You? She pointed at him. What are you doing here? Jungkook, that's supposed to be my question. This is my room, he said, wiping his wet hair with a towel in a cool tone. He seems like he doesn't want to bother himself to make an argument now. Yun, your room? But the maid. She didn't know whom to blame and what to say. Jungkook, bread caught your mouth? He asked, tilting his head. Jungkook, the maid what? He asked again. Yun, the maid showed me this room, she said, pointing at the door. Jungkook, obviously. Couples are meant to stay in the same room, he replied, still wiping his hair. Yun, you mean you and me in the same room? She questioned, pointing between at him and then at herself. Exactly, he replied, throwing the towel on her face and walking to the closet searching for his clothes. Yeah, jerk. She aggressively removed the towel from her face. He searched for some comfy clothes and replied, Jungkook, what brat? If my presence bothers you, go and take another room. But yeah, there is no guarantee of safety, he said without looking at her and searching for his clothes. You. She opened her mouth to say something, but then her eyes fell on his arm and wrist, which have scratches and visible wounds. She then remembered the incident took place while they were returning to the mansion. She realized how he shot most of them while driving. She cut off her sentence and stayed quiet. She throws a towel on the bed and grabbed her long frock in her hands. Never mind, she said, and made her way towards the shower room while stomping her foot. He turned his head, watching her walking towards his shower room. He chuckled and wore a comfortable sleeveless shirt, mumbling, scared but still bratty attitude. He made his way toward the living room inside the bedroom. He grabbed his phone from the table, placed it in front of the couch. When he unlocked it, he saw a message from Taehyung. We have something to discuss with members, Dad and Mrs. Choi. Dad told us to gather in our usual place tomorrow. He twisted his eyebrows. Jungkook. He could have said this directly to me. Why he preferred to send a message? He mumbled to himself, then realized they are not alone in their rooms now. Got it. He replied back and then sat on the couch, opening his laptop.